In this video, I am going to show you the lifted increase. This, it's usually called the lifted increase in most sources. Some sources call it, like in Monsi Stanley's Knitter's Handbook, she refers to it as a row below increase. But these increases are made in the row below. And they're made of stitches lifted from the row below. They can be left leaning or right leaning, so I will show you both. For right leaning, you will make the increase on the right side of the base stitch. So you work to where you want your increase, and you'll be working off of the stitch on the next stitch on your left needle. You're going to go into the row below, and from behind use your right needle to lift the head of that stitch and place it on your left needle. I like to keep those two separated with my thumb so it's easier to knit into that one without splitting that, and then you knit that base stitch. I'll show you that again. So these are the right leaning lifted increases. You knit to where you want the increase. You use your right needle to lift the head of that stitch below, place it on your left needle, knit into it, and then knit the base stitch. Now, to work the left leaning version, you work to where you want to place the increase, including the base stitch. So we'll say one more. So this is my base stitch right here. This one can be a little tricky because you may want to grab this stitch and knit into it, but that's not the correct stitch. You want the very next one down and use your left needle to lift the head of that stitch and place it and knit into it. I'll show you that again. This is the left leaning. You knit to where you want your increase, including the base stitch. So the left leaning has the increase placed on the left side of the base stitch. And you grab, so think about the rows that are on your left needle. So we're not wanting to grab the row that's on the needle, but the row that's underneath the needle. So not this stitch, because that was just on the left needle. The stitch below that stitch, and knit into it. And I'll finish this row and work a few rows past it so you can see what those look like. So I've done a few more rows so you can see what these look like. So these are the right leaning, so you can see that base stitch leans to the right and the increase comes off to the left. There's another right leaning. And then here's the left leaning. So the base stitch leans to the left and the increase is coming off to the right. So those are another method of making increases. One thing to note when using this method, it helps to not make these increases on every single row. You'll end up with puckered, distorted looking fabric. So that's one thing to make note of when you're using this type of increase. And so just keep that in mind. So, but it's a very nice looking increase and not too hard to make. So thanks for watching.